and welcome to Home with Sarah Jane. Today I wanted to share our January morning basket. Okay, so things got a little hectic and crazy, probably like everybody else during the holiday season, and I wanted to do this big, beautiful, like polar regions, January morning basket. We would learn about different polar animals and different polar explorers and like all of this, wonderful stuff. And then for some reason, I just thought that I had like 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year's, which isn't the case. That's it. Just, I don't know what I was thinking. So I didn't prep anything for my polar morning basket for January. There was resources that I wanted to be able to pick up and buy that I was going to use for this basket. And it wasn't a lot, but it was like the main chunk of the basket. So yeah, that didn't happen. So what ended up happening is I took a look at my planner and I really looked at how much I was going to be homeschooling in January. And it's only 16 days. So I'm only homeschooling for 16 days in January. So I thought, you know what, why don't we just go back to school from winter break gently and not overdo in our morning basket? Because, I mean, if you've seen some of my baskets, I could be an overdoer. So what I ended up coming up with is just tiptoeing back into school with something fun and light. And we're going to be doing like a book and a game combo in our morning basket. And then just a couple of little things to go with that. So I printed out my little handy dandy sheet. So this one does look a little bit different than my others, and that's because this basket is set up differently. So yeah. But anyway, what I did was I just printed out the book and game combos that I, kind of mapped out. And then I also have the holidays that are in January that we like to usually do something for. I also have our book and a movie pick. We are still going to try and do French, and I'll show you what we're going to be using for French. But let's just get into it, because now I feel like I'm chatting, or I'm getting chatty. But let's start with book and a movie. So for book and a movie, I have been trying to read Heidi since before Christmas. So this is on the list again for January. This really shouldn't take us that long because it's a classic start. So Heidi is on the list. And because, again, since I'm only schooling for 16 days, I wanted to pick another short book for book and a movie. So we're going to be reading The Iron Giant. Now, this is one that I've been looking forward to for a while. We just haven't gotten to it. And I think that January is the perfect month for this because I'm not going to be schooling very much. So we'll be reading The Iron Giant. I actually think I'm going to start with The Iron Giant and then, with whatever time I have left, read Heidi. But yeah, so Iron Giant. So those are our book and a movie picks. Now, one of you subscribers mentioned this getting started with French, beginning French for homeschoolers and self-taught students of any age. This we kind of did a little bit in December just to kind of like dip our toes in, I guess you can say, to see and get like a feel for it. And we liked it. This is very beginner though, like the very beginning of everything. So for learning French. And we like that because I am doing this with my, how old is she? My 10-year-old, so my 5th grader, and my 13, soon to be 14-year-old, my 8th grader. And my 8th grader has been taking French here and there the past few years, but I feel like she never found a program that she liked. So this one, because it's so basic and so at the beginning, I felt like this would be perfect for her as almost like a review. And it's something that we can use for her to start slowly communicating with my youngest. So I've said it before, French is not an easy language for me. I speak French with a Spanish accent. I can't help it. My husband laughs at me all the time when I'm trying, but the point is I keep trying. So we are going to be using Getting Started with French. And again, it is very basic. It literally takes us only a couple of minutes a day. And then we just kind of practice it a little bit here and there throughout the days. So yeah, it's very, very basic, very simple. Like this is lesson 55 and you can see it's not a lot that they give you, but we'll just be working our way through this for second semester. I am going to be doing a quarter 2 update. I need to figure out what my updates were before I could film that. I have them all written down. I haven't taken the time, and I will be getting that video out. So now for some holidays in January, there's Martin Luther King Jr. Day on January is it the 20th? I want to say the 20th. I don't know, but I know it's in January. So what we're going to be doing is we always watch the I Have a Dream speech on YouTube. But this year I wanted to do just a little bit more. We used to read books all the time, like his biography and things like that, but I wanted to do something a little bit different. So we're going to watch his speech on YouTube because I think it's such a powerful delivery as well. I want my kids to get like that full experience, well, as much as they can. And then I also printed out the speech. So I printed out I Have a Dream, and this is a speech obviously that was given. And what we're going to do is we are going to dissect this. We are going to read this in small sections and discuss, you know, what he's saying, you know, how we feel, how we think he feels in the moment of actually saying this to this amount of people. So we really want to like be engaged in this. And so what I want to do is just go through, like I said, and dissect the speech with them and just kind of go over and just have really great conversation with them about the speech. So, and then I also did print out just a little timeline. So we'll also do this. So we'll just cut these out and paste them in order. And then this just has like a mini little like biography of Martin Luther King Jr. But that's all we're going to be doing for that, because like I said, we usually read like his biography and we'll watch like little shorts or movies about it. But we've been doing that for so long that I just kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. So now for Chinese New Year I think is on January 22nd this year. So I had to kind of plan things out a little bit earlier. But again, this is one of those holidays that we've been homeschooling. This is our 9th year homeschooling, and we have been doing kind of like the same thing for these holidays, just over and over again, where we'll just read a book about the Chinese New Year and watch Mulan and eat Chinese food and then call it a night. Well, this year I wanted to read different stories. So instead of reading something specific about Chinese New Year, I wanted to read books a little different. So this one happens to be one of our favorites. We're going to be reading Tikki Tembo. And if you know this story, this is a story that takes place in China, and it's supposed to be more like China a long time ago, like more ancient China. So I wanted to read this one. Again, we love this story. We've read this a lot, but it's such a cute story. So this is a good one. So we're going to be reading Tikki Tembo for Chinese New Year. And I decided to pull one in that's a little bit more, I guess, serious. This one is called Coolies. We've never actually read this book before, but I did have it on my shelf already. Actually, everything I'm showing you, I've already had on my shelf. I didn't want to spend any money if I wasn't going to be doing the basket that I intended, if that makes sense. But we're going to be reading Coolies for Chinese New Year as well. And again, I've never read this, but when I read the back of this, it looks really good. It looks sad though. I'm probably going to cry. I cry and everything. So it says, Sheik marvel, is it Sheik or Shek? Maybe it's Shek. Shek marvels at the new world as he and his younger brother Little Wong step off the ship that has brought them to California. Along with hundreds of other Chinese workers, the brothers are going to help build a great railroad across the West. So, and it also talks about what the boys kind of have to go through while they're here in America, about discrimination and the cruelty that they're faced with, and about how they're trying to save up money to bring their mother and younger brothers to America with them. So this one I feel like is a little bit more serious, but that's kind of what I like. I like my kids to hear about, you know, the backgrounds of different cultures, about history, whether it's good or bad. So I just thought that this would be a good one to throw in. And again, we will still watch Mulan, eat Chinese food, and kind of discuss some of the things that people like to do for Chinese New Year. So we'll still be doing that kind of stuff as well. But I wanted to throw in just a couple of other stories. Now, for the main part of our January morning basket, it's going to be the book and the game combos. So what I did is I chose 16 different games to go with a book. So I just This is just to make it fun, you know, this part. I wrote down like the topic on these sticks or the book or the game on these sticks. So my kids won't know what they're going to get. So each morning they'll pull one of these out. This one says brain and canoodle. So that I know what book and game we're going to be playing that day. And so every day is going to be kind of like a little mystery in January for us. And that's just another way to make it fun. So that's why I did this on popsicle sticks. So the first book and a game combo that I have is, I think it's pronounced Bard of Avon, the story of William Shakespeare. So we're going to be reading this book one day and just playing Bananagrams. So there's one. Now for another day, we will be reading All My Shining Silver. Now, All My Shining Silver, this is stories of value from around the world. So this has to do with a whole bunch of different countries or stories from a whole bunch of different countries. So we'll be doing this book with Guess in 10 Countries of the World. So again, you can kind of see that I'm trying to theme them together to make it even more fun. But I just want something light and gentle to go back to school. And honestly, it's not even just about my kids needing like to tiptoe back in. It's also about me needing to tiptoe back in. December was crazy and I feel like I need a break from the break. So that's why I'm kind of like doing something light for January. So I guess it was a little bit of a blessing that I didn't order all of my polar books for January. Now, another one, we have Amazing Underwater Animals and Guess in 10 Underwater Animals. The brain is kind of a big deal. So I thought this one would be perfect with like a little logic game. So we're going to be doing Canoodle. Is this head to head or is it battle? I can't remember what it's called. I think it's head to head where they have to like compete against each other and they're like little logic puzzles. So yeah, we'll be doing the brain is kind of a big deal and Canoodle battle or head to head. Why can't I get that right? Okay. And then for this one, we will be reading through Rocks and Mineral Study. This is a book from The Good and the Beautiful, but we really enjoyed this when we did this. I can't remember when. Maybe last year? I don't remember. But we really like this book, and it is a really pretty book. Like, if you look, it has some great pictures in here. But to go with this book, my youngest daughter got these crystal playing cards for Christmas. And I thought that this would be perfect just to play maybe like Math War with when we read this book. Because these cards do show the pictures of the crystal and the name of it as well. So I just thought that that would be perfect to pair with this Rocks and Minerals Study book. Okay, I'm not going to close it. I'm going to just move on. Okay, so another one. We can't do anything without reptiles in this house because my youngest daughter. So we will be reading In Focus Reptiles, Meet Scaly Reptiles, Top 10 Predators, Explore Habitats. So we'll be reading this book. And this book is actually new to us. I purchased this not that long ago. And I haven't read it yet. My youngest daughter kind of started to. So we're going to read In Focus. And then we're also going to be doing the Reptiles and Amphibians Trivia game by Professor Noggins. So this is what it looks like. My kids love trivia, so these games are perfect for them. I just keep them in a little pouch though, because we break every game box we have for the most part. Okay, so now this one, I have Possum Magic, where this one isn't exactly like a nonfiction game. This isn't exactly like a nonfiction book. It's a fun book, but we really enjoy this story as well. So being able to pull this off the shelf and read it, I mean, I'm not going to be mad about it. I'm going to enjoy it. So I chose Possum Magic to go with the game Possum. So this game is, what's the word I'm looking for? It's like a parts of speech game almost. Like you have to like build words and stuff like that. So I thought that this would be perfect for this morning basket because it's educational as well, but we also get the fun story with it. Now, another pairing. This is called, again, this is a book from The Good and the Beautiful, but it's a really good book, actually. Marvelous Mammals from Down Under. So you just get to learn about a whole bunch of different animals from Australia. So this is the book that I chose to go with Australia's Deadliest Animal Bingo. My kids, again, we like trivia. My kids love bingo. I mean, it doesn't matter what kind of bingo. They just love bingo. So this is a really fun game. It's actually a really beautiful game as well. Like the pictures are really nicely done. Okay. Now this one, my daughter wanted me to work this book in, so I was kind of having a hard time pairing it. But this book is called The World of Weird Animals. Pink is for blobfish. So this is just discovering the world's perfectly pink animals. So this entire book is just about pink animals. So my daughter, again, she loves pink. She loves animals. Perfect book for her. So you could just see every animal in this book is pink. And I'm pairing this with Guess in 10 Animal Planet. So it's not, I mean, animal, it works, but you know, I had other plans for this game, but my daughter really wanted me to work this book in. And what am I going to say? No, let's not read that book. Like, yeah, right. Okay. Now, I also wanted to make sure that I was mixing in some art since I'm not planning on doing any art in January, like officially, you know. So I picked Katie's Picture Show, and this is, it even says make art and adventure. So these are cute little stories. And they do have like the pictures of certain art. Did I say that right? Certain artwork by certain artists. So I thought that this would go really great with our art trivia game. So this is a Professor Noggins History of Art card game. So I paired these two together. I think I have one. Yeah, I do. I have another art one that I'm going to be showing you right now. But I thought that these would go great together. And then this one is Katie and the Water Lily Pond. So this one I actually purchased because my daughter really enjoys this artist as well. So this one I just thought would be perfect. But if you look, the pictures are really beautiful in here. And I paired this one with our Impressionist artist Go Fish. So, I mean, I thought that these worked really well together. And we've had this card game for a little while now. And we've only played it a few times, so I thought that it would be great to get some more use out of this game. Okay. Now, the next one I want to show you is How Do Birds Find Their Way? Is the book. And then I paired this one with Bird Bingo. Surprise, surprise, another bingo. Again, this is a very beautiful game as well. The pictures are really nice. And then these ones, these last few, I'm going to show you. I don't have everything that I need, but I will insert pictures to show you what I'll be using with them. Okay, so the next book is The Story of Money. This one I'm going to actually pair with Monopoly. I'll insert a picture of the Monopoly that we're going to be using. I just can't grab it right now. And I'll explain that in a different video, I guess. But yeah, so we're going to be reading The Story of Money, and we're going to be playing Monopoly. And I just like this because it's kind of just like the history of, you know, money. So, you know, fun. Something we don't normally focus on so much when it comes to schooling. Well, at least us here. Now, the next one, we are going to be using this book called The Word Collector. And we are going to be playing Upwards. So this game, though, we love. We love this game. It is so much fun. Well, it's fun when I'm not arguing with my brother and my sister over the game, but it's fun when I play with my kids. So, we'll be playing Upwards and reading The Word Collector. And then this is another game that we really enjoy. This is Dabble. So we'll be playing Dabble, but reading, what was it called? Little Red Writing. So the book is called Little Red Writing, and we'll be playing Dabble with it. Some of these books I'm actually getting from the library or getting like audio versions of the books, or ebooks I should say, and that's why I don't have them. But yeah, so Little Red Writing we've never read before, but it looked cute, and I thought it would go perfect with Dabble. And just keep in mind too that sometimes when you have games like Dabble or Upwards, you don't really have to use the game as you know, you don't have to follow the rules necessarily. You know, you could just have your kids, you know, make 5 nouns using, you know, your dabble board or whatever. You don't have to stick to the rules. It could be, you could change it up and make it more fun and convenient for you if you need to. But we will play this game the way it is intended because we do really enjoy it. But I have used this as a way to practice different parts of speech. Okay, now finally, the last one. So this one is called Racco. So this is kind of more like a math game, I guess you can say. You're trying to get your cards in sequence or in order. And so to go with Racco, we are going to be reading Circumference and All the King's Tens. Again, I will insert a picture. This is actually one I do have. I lent it out. So, but I will be getting it back by the time we play this game. But yeah, so those are all of our like book and game combos to go with our January morning basket. So again, this basket was just meant to be something to tiptoe back into school after the winter break, something fun and light in the morning, and because I didn't order what I was supposed to in time. So that's why this basket is this way. But I do feel that this is going to be a huge win and a lot of fun for January. So let me know if you have any favorite games or books that would go great for this basket. I'd love to hear them. If you have any questions, please leave it in the comment section. Thank you so much for stopping by. You have a great day. Bye.